Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It's me, Mike Lepre, King Mike L. This is Legit Fantasy Football brought to you by LegitPodcast.com. It is November 5th, 2023. One day away from my twins being 20. Oh, God, just let me lay down in the backyard and throw dirt on me. So it's that fall behind hour change thing they do. I don't know who does it. I'm still not quite sure who's in charge of it. I might talk about that tonight on Legit Paranormal at 7:05, legitpodcast.com. Check the new merch. It's available for sale. What I was gonna say is they did like a change of time change, fall behind. And about an hour before I got a message from Shawn the comedian saying, I guess nobody's coming. And I thought he meant that by the lack of people responding in the chat, but I think he meant that he didn't set his clocks correctly. And then Brother Ray and M1, only God would know where they are, what they're doing, what's going on in their heads, what time they think it is. They might have went 2 hours up. So I figured, hey, they're not going to be here. I can't not give you the picks for this week, right? I got to at least do that. I mean, let's be honest. I have the highest winning percentage. Do I not? So let's give this a shot. All right. Minnesota goes to Atlanta. Atlanta. Atlanta's favored by 3.5. The over-under is 38. Oh, boy. I don't like Atlanta in this one. I think Minnesota runs on Atlanta. I like Minnesota plus 3.5 in this one. I'm not sold yet on Atlanta. Just not. You could try to sell me. I mean, they quarterback, and then I just go, no. So let's go to the next game. So Minnesota plus 3.5. I'm not going to touch the over under 38. The over unders is so low this week because I'll be honest. Honestly, there's some games I would never want to watch. Never want to watch. There's just some games this week that are just, you'll see them. They're horrendous. All right. Next game, Seattle goes to Baltimore. Seattle's getting 6.5 at Baltimore. I like Seattle in that just because of the spread, the 6.5. I think they stay within that 6.5. So if I had to pick that, I'm going to go with plus 6.5 for Seattle. Arizona goes to Cleveland. See, now this is the type of game that if I had the money and I could afford the tickets and the airfare, I'd go to a completely different game. A completely different game. Arizona versus Cleveland. Cleveland is favored by 13. Cleveland at home, favored by 13. Cleveland at home, 13. Too much. It's too much for Cleveland. Like, if you've been following football for the last 400 years, Cleveland by 13? No. It'll be an ugly game. So take Arizona plus 13. The Rams go to the Packers. The Rams are getting 4. The Packers are favored by 4. Are the Packers that good? I want to think they are, but are the Rams that good? Well, I want to think they could be too. So in this game, as much as I like the Packers to win this game, I'm going to tell you to take the Rams plus 4. Just, again, the spread over 3. Bucks at Houston. Let's see. Bucks are getting 2.5 at Houston. Now, I think Houston's pretty good. I think Houston wins by a field goal. I think if this was a high spread, it'd be different. But 2.5, all they're going to do is win by 3. I'll take Houston at home. The Commies, the dumbest, stupidest. That team will never get anything ever right. From the maroon of their uniforms to just everything else, it's always going to be just garbage. It's just like it's like literally looking at the worst team color-wise. Like red and maroon. I mean, that maroon red with the yellow the colors are horrendous. But then they're playing the Patriots. The Patriots at home -3. Now, what type of game will this be, Mike? Well, Sam Howell is trying to break Carr's record of being sacked the most. He's off to a great start. I said that earlier in the year. I'm going to go with, the Commies are going to make this really, really ugly. The Commies will make this ugly, but the Patriots will win by 3 at home today, guys. The Bears go to New Orleans. Let's see. New Orleans, Bears. Hold on 1 second. All right. Bench 1, please. Stanley, Mixon, Eckler, Hall, or Cook. Hall, Eckler, Mixon. Oh crap. It's gonna be Hall or Cook. I probably would bench Cook. But you could also see an ugly game from Hall in that whole backfield. Chargers Jets could be ugly. No, Cook. So Cook. That's my humblest opinions. Let's see. So we're back at Chicago goes. So Chicago goes to New Orleans. New Orleans is favored by 9.5. 9.5. The Bears plus 9.5. That spread's too much for that game. That's another game. There's just ugly games. Colts go to Carolina. Indy's favored by 2 over Carolina. Carolina is a really good team, in my opinion, are building a really good team, but I think the Colts are sneaky good with Minshew. I'll think the Colts -2. 4 o'clock games, there's only 3 of them. Although the Colts game was the first one, but here's the other 2. Here's the game that I don't even want to watch. Giants go to the Raiders. Giants +1. The Raiders are favored at home by 1 over under 38. They expect a stinker, just like I do. It's a game that's just going to bring me tension and anger. Let's see. The New York Giants are a hot mess. I remember at the beginning of the season, before the season started, we were talking about trading for this receiver, that receiver. And I remember saying to my son, as we're naming off all the guys we have on the roster this year and how the roster's better, I remember saying to him, yeah, but what about the offensive line? Like, did we really fix it? I don't think we did. Is Evan Neal going to be better? I don't think he will be. And then our guards are old or young and they can't play. And then the center is a rookie, so you could expect them to struggle. And then all of a sudden, the left tackle is supposed to be an all-pro. He's hurt with a hamstring the whole year. So it's like, what about the offensive line? What about the offensive line? The Giants versus the Raiders. See, here's the problem I have with this game, and I'll tell you why. The Giants should lose this game. They should lose this game. They should just start the tank. Just start the dive, stay on the dive, and just tank the year. But I worry that they win this game. Why? Because it makes them end up with a worse draft pick. So Giants at the Raiders. I got to go with the Giants +1. I just think the Giants win a game that they don't want to win. How about that? Cowboys at Eagles. Oh, boy. I hate Philly. Philly's my – you know what? I hate the Cowboys. I really do. And Cowboy fans are very obnoxious people. But I hate Philadelphia the most because they stink. They shouldn't even be in the conversation of good teams. Just, you know what I mean? Like, in general. And they're one of the dirtiest, worst organizations, sneakiest, just horrendous. Just mediocrity, but stink, as the Grinch would say. Stink, stank, stunk. But take Philly -3 at home. Buffalo goes to Cincinnati tonight. Buffalo's going up to Cincinnati. Cincinnati's favored by 1.5. Oh, boy. You're going to think Buffalo wins this game, right? I don't think the 1.5 means anything, right? You would think that Buffalo just wins this game. You'd think that they would just stop playing correctly. It's like, can Josh Allen just come out and settle down quick? Can we just get him to settle down in the beginning of the game? Because if we could, oh boy, it'd be a great game. Monday night, we got the Chargers at the Jets. The Jets are getting 3.5. Chargers are favored by 3.5. I think this game ends up being ugly. I was just saying that before about the Breece Hall pick. That Jets defense they're dogs, man. So, but still 3.5. So I would not bet this game right now, 3.5. I'd wait for it to go to 3 or 4. And then I make my choice that way. And quite honestly, if the Chargers get 3, I'll take them. If it goes to 4, I'm taking the Jets. But 3.5, I'm almost at I don't know what to do, and I don't want to do it. If I had a place to bet, I would take the Chargers 3.5. So those are the picks, guys. We're going real quick, fast, super fast in a hurry. Vikings +3.5, Seahawks +6.5, Arizona +13, Rams +4, Texans -2.5, Patriots -3, Bears +9.5, Colts -2, Giants +1 because they're gonna just do it to make it worse for me. Eagles -3, Bills +1.5, Chargers -3.5. Now, if you're looking for some sort of long shot banger, I would tell you to go with the Vikings. Oh boy, you know what? You can go Vikings. You could go Rams. If you went Vikings, Rams, and then you threw in like Seattle, which would be hard, but if you threw that in for the 1 o'clock, or maybe you got feisty and you want to go like Minnesota, Arizona, and the Rams. Because why not? It's the Browns. That could happen. The Cardinals could win the game. It's the Browns. So that would be a banger for a long shot 3-0. So those were the picks for me, Mike Leopard King, Mike L. Tonight we have Legit and Paranormal at 7:05. I am not quite sure who the guest is, but I will know more tonight. Be sure to visit our friends at highharvest.net, highharvest.net. Also, Adkins Tumblers, you can find them on Facebook. Adkins Tumblers keeps the hot stuff hot and the cold stuff cold. I mean, what else would you want from a tumbler? So, guys, I will see you again. I hope you placed your bets. I hope you listened to what I said. Please, please, please make some money. It's me, Mike Leopard King, Mike L. This was Legit Fantasy Football Super Fast 13-minute edition.